Okay, we are in the Paradise Forest right now.
As you can see, there isn't much of a horizontal gap here with all the shrubs and all of that. There's only about 3 to 5 layers here, meaning it's a relatively new and growing forest. Especially with the gaps with the trees, you can see that they're still relatively close together.
Yep.
Meaning that they're still young. And they're very thin for what they should be. And of course, these are Douglas firs.
Yeah, they are pretty young first.
Yeah.
And pretty young trees. And
there's a few exceptions, but those trees are still relatively small.
Yep.
And person-friendly.
Okay. And we can see here the canopy closure is not that close. It's very clear. So
there is still a lot of it being closed though, so it is relatively still young, as we keep saying.
Yep.
Just coming out of canopy closure, I would say.
Yep.
Oh, and as you can see, there's like a couple dead things, not a lot of them.
Yep.
Meaning that it's older than a fresh forest.
And we can see a lot of sword ferns here. Yeah, right here.
Okay, so here you can see there is a lot of plant diversity among this little gap. You can see there's lots of floor level little shrubs, then you got a little taller ones, and then you also have the ferns, which do add to the amount of layering. And there aren't mushrooms in this particular area, but there are a lot of them scoured in this little evergreen forest, meaning that there is a lot of algae here, which is great for trees so they can communicate and get stuff that they need from other sources. You can see also that there are little leaves on the floor, meaning that there are some deciduous trees in this area, but they are slowly losing their leaves.
Yes, and we can see here the fallen leaves are not really much. Right here, just it's like very thin, and it's like 1 centimeters.
Yeah, a lot of Douglas fir needles.
Okay, here is a little dead tree here, and it's near the person walk side.
There are holes where birds have started to hide their seeds and stuff, but there aren't a lot of them, and there's also a lot of moss growing up, which only means good things here.
Yep. Okay, we can see there's a little western hemlock here, and it grows on a little it's actually a huge nurse log, right?
It's a stump, and as you can see, the hemlock is very little, as we said earlier, with a few exceptions.
Yeah, it's right here.
And you can tell by the leaves how they're all not the same length and they're flat, and the fact that it's growing on something that's dead. Okay, so as you see here, we are now in a deciduous forest.
Yay!
Woo! You can tell by the empty trees.
Yep.
Since they've all fallen to the ground.
Yeah, they are totally different than evergreen forest. And this forest is called red alder.
Yep.
Right here.
That they used to use for paper. Because if you see it and if you felt it, it kind of feels like paper, but you can tell that since it's a natural fiber.
Yeah, it's really soft.
It came from the tree. Which segues beautifully into this prairie, which is called the clearing here at Paradise Valley. Native Americans used to burn parts of the forests to keep them clear so that other species of plants could survive. And the reason why that's a good segue is because Native Americans used to use this for paper Okay, so in contrast to Native Americans who loved the land and made the land something that was more spiritual to them, the settlers who settled here wanted to get rid of the forests and keep it kind of like this little prairie where it was all flat and you could clearly see what was going on. Now, if we go back into Greek mythology, there was a tale in Ovid's Metamorphose that basically talked about Diana turning this hunter's son into a stag, which you could see even if there isn't like a clear water area in this area. You could see that it would be really easy to spot someone, even like with the sun how it is currently, because there isn't a lot of shade in these deciduous forests. So had she been in an evergreen forest, she would have been hid more easily. And by she, I mean Diana this entire time. And so, had we left the forest alone, she would have probably been hidden a little more if that tale was current day. And keeping on the story of old stories, Little Red Riding Hood comes to mind when you look at this little crossroad where one way is a little darker, but it could have been the right way to go, especially if you were a little child. But you would probably take the lighter road because you were not as scared to take that road. So in a way, there is an extremely easy way for Little Red Riding Hood to get completely lost right out of the gate. And that's not trying to say that women aren't good with direction, but there is still the fact that she was just a child and probably has done this a couple times, so she would have known, but there's always that little gamble of, is this the right way to go?